Welcome back to Market on Close. We're watching equities to see if they can retain the momentum from this morning. Let's go over to crude, though, because Alan Nutman, the chief market strategist at Agora Financial, I know watches WTI as well. We had a nice session for crude futures up above 41, almost to 42 at one point. Alan, what does it mean?
Well, I don't know if you know, but I've been doing this for 30 years, and I started as a commodities guy, so I'm a futures guy. Way back when.
I've heard.
Before you were a trader, they used to not take stops at night. We used to have to get up throughout the night and call Odessa, would call Japan and tell us where we were. So it was a little different risk control environment than it is right now. So I'm a big watcher of crude. So crude today did get up to that 42 and change level, I think, if I was looking at the September contract. It's been holding at the midpoint of the 20 to 60 move that we've seen for the last year. And then today we pushed up and filled a gap that had been there since February. So that was very important. And now it looks like we're going to make another push in the upside. If you want to use crude as a barometer, that's a very positive sign. And it looks technically like we could shoot up to the 50 level.
So crude looks what, Alan, that there's potential now breakout, real momentum to the upside?
Well, everything's breaking out. We got gold at 9-year highs, silver at multi-year highs. You've got crude oil breaking out of this multi-week range. And if you look at some of those oil stocks, big pops in Halliburton, Oxy, Apache, they'd all been going in this sideways range with this series of higher lows and lower highs, and now they're breaking out to the upside, and they're trying to approach their recent swing highs. So we'll have to see on that. But let's talk about the S&P. I mean, that's the elephant in the room. The S&P new multi-month highs here, and we talked about it when it rallied above 3,200. That was very positive, targeting 3,350. And there's a gap up above at 33.28, which is a gap from the February 21st close and the February 24th open. Gaps often get filled. If that gap gets filled, then we're 2 days away from those all-time forever highs were made at 33.93. So got to remain positive, until proven otherwise.
New highs coming, Alan. Are you braced for records?
Oh, definitely. Let's look today at the NDX. The NDX got within 50 points of the all-time forever high that was just posted on Monday. So it's still all about the flow, the money flow, the money getting thrown at these markets, and the support that these markets are going to get. To step in front of that has been an absolute disaster for people.
Right now, it looks like the NASDAQ is like day by day. The rotation is violent when it does arrive, Alan. We haven't really seen something like this sustain over a long period of time, but it looks like this Russell bid, the rotation bid, is not going away yet. So to the conversation we've recently had as well, I mean, does that create conflict or problems within the market? Because right now the S&P is basically flat because tech's getting hit so hard.
Well, tech does give it back, so it's important to see how it reacts in the following sessions, and that's just basic money management. When you've got those kind of profits, maybe it makes sense to take some off and look at something else that hasn't participated. So, still on a weekly basis, we made new all-time forever highs just last week. I'd like to see that happen again this week in the NDX to keep the momentum going, but still a very, very powerful force in the markets right now that you can't doubt it, and you can't really short it. You can maybe short term when it gets so explosive. Like this morning felt like a little bit of a blow off top. And it turns out that it may be, but we've seen this time and time again. The buyers step up, so we have to watch more time and see if the buyers come back and still believe in this bull market.
Alan, back to where we started here on the crude and energy front. The companies are even more powerful today than WTI. I know one of your views on trading has been to find areas of the market where there's leadership and then go to the ones at the back of the pack in that sector. What about when the whole sector has been lagging? Do you like energy as a catch-up play?
Oh, yeah, definitely do. And, Exxon, I think, is another good example of that. It's gotten a little bit here recently, but it's still off its swing highs from a couple of weeks ago. So, I still think that sector is a lot of unpolished gems. It was so, how should we say politely, so much distaste for the energy stocks. And you saw what crude, when it came back, when it did that capitulation, we talked about it. That was a very, very positive sign. It has been absolutely nothing but straight up since that time.
Yeah, so Exxon, Chevron, still the big recognizable names? What about the shale plays that are like on their life, their lifeline, that maybe will make it, maybe won't? What do you think about those?
I know there's no political thread to this, but I'm going to point out that somebody came in and bought a lot of corporate bonds to help rescue an industry. I'm not saying who, but, we've seen this support. They're not going to let those stocks go. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's capitalism. I'm not saying it's free markets. It is what it is.
All right. So you're watching what? Corporate bonds, like high yield, junk stuff, energy?
I'm just looking at that as an illustration of the support that segment's going to get. We're not letting the energy market just go away. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen in this political watch.
All right, you got it, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alan, joining us from Agora Financial. He was still on there. Hopefully we could hear him. I was listening to him. When we come back, let's keep it going here. We got 15 minutes until the closing bell. Lots more to walk through. We'll get you ready for earnings. Lots of names set to report. We're going to be looking for United. We've got Capital One coming. We've got Snap. It's going to be a busy afternoon. Stick around on the TD Ameritrade Network. We'll be breaking the big earnings live.